Morning, everyone. We're back Thursday morning, and guess what? De-escalation day. All right, we talked about it yesterday. I had a sneaky feeling this was coming. It seems to be a probable Trump move now, like bully, de-escalate. And we've already started pricing it in. So those of you who are trading Asia and London probably had a very, very nice day. Now, what happens on this de-escalation? Who knows? All right, who knows? He could say anything, but just be aware the main news event today will be 10 a.m. when apparently we're going to have some huge news, the biggest news ever. But we'll see, eh? It could be an absolute nothing burger and we might price in too much. But that's what we're looking at today. All right, so let's think about the daily, think about what happened yesterday, go through the higher time frames, and we'll go from there. There we go. Let me know this already seems a bit laggy, doesn't it? Is this camera lagging again? I just tried to reset it up. I think I might know what it is now, but if this is lagging, let me know. All right, let's think about what happened on the daily. Here was the old range. Here was the gap fill from Wednesday to Thursday last week. Yesterday, failed breakdown. If sellers were going to take control, they should have done this move. They didn't. Right, they didn't take control, even though I would argue that Mr. Powell was very, very... Let's change that over then. That is unfortunate. Even though I'd argue that Powell was very, very hawkish, all right, talking about stagflation, and higher for longer, and being nowhere near the rates, and like not knowing what to do, and that the tariffs could cause more problems. Very, very bearish. The sellers had the chance to do this, to backtest this area here, which would be a better long position to go up, but they didn't, okay? They didn't take over. They were unable to take over, which is unfortunate for them. And then into London, Asia last night, Trump comes out and says, hey, we're going to have de-escalation tomorrow at 10 o'clock with one big country. Boom, up we go, all right? So you've got a failed breakdown, and now coming to the upside of the range. Those of you who've studied Wyckoff, this can effectively become the spring there. Consolidation, fail breakdown, go up. Why would that be a spring? Fail breakdowns where shorts get stuck. So where do we go now? We test top side of the range, which is where we're at. Ideal location for long? No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately, that location has been and gone overnight. So we need to wait now. Have a look at the higher time frame. Let's change this over as well. This is so unfortunate. Okay, higher time frame, you can see on the H1, really strong channel, very, very simple. Someone yesterday was talking about the head and shoulder, and I was saying it's only a head and shoulder if we break down under. We never got that move. So this downtrend, all right, which is where shorts have been trying to walk it down. If you were short here, little cover there, short here, little cover there, short there, little cover there. You're looking to get the rotation. They don't get it. So where's the stop? Bang, right here. It's the first level of stops. You noticed yesterday, even in, what time was this? Even at the close on that drive up yesterday, we still respected that downtrend. This hourly close yesterday, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock handle, that drive up still fails and comes inside. But on the tariff news at 8 o'clock last night, we break through. We actually come back and retest it if you look at a 30-minute, which is what I was talking about in Discord. And from there, we've gone where? Top side of the range. We know supply is here, all right? We know supply is there. It's very, very clear. This is top side of supply. Above that, what do we have? 200-day moving average. We also have the Bollinger Bands, which are starting to expand now. Bollinger Bands are all the way up at 620 now. So if this market wants to squeeze, it has the ability to go higher based on the bolds. So I would be looking for a couple things here. If London holds, if there's like a failed breakout here and a hold, and we can get through this top end of supply, 270s and the 200-day, and we hold that, we're going to go for 500s. Right, 500s, we can see it. Go back to the daily. 500s is right here. All right, so this block here, 340 to 500. What's the top of that? Like 535. All right, which is sort of this little Bollinger dip. So That would inflict max pain today on shorts if they're going to do that move. It doesn't have to do that move if they're going to do that move. So I'd be looking for dips today if that's going to hold. Now, really, I want to get dips after 10 a.m. because I want to see what he says. If we do something like this and he comes out and says, hey, we're having de-escalation with China, we're doing some great deals, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. If he comes out and says, yeah, we're de-escalating, but we're going to keep it 150%. If he comes out and says, hey, we're de-escalating, but the country I'm de-escalating with is, really unimportant and we don't really import any goods from there, that would be up to you to decide. But if it was just a random country, nothing really very good, or it was not a rate which was acceptable in the market, we go down, all right? Because we priced in de-escalation here. This is what we priced in. So we have to wait and see. That's the danger. So I'd say this London pivot is key. Why? Because it's also resistance, 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 support, support, and sort of resistance here. This kind of level here is key. If we start to let go of that early, we can come back and back test some of this area here where we break out from this downtrend, this wick high, all of this area here into 20,000 flat, 20,000 over under. If we start to lose too much of this, right, if we start to break down here and start to produce lower highs and lower highs and lower highs, and the news is negative, you know where we're coming back for. We're coming back all the way down here for another attempt to break lower. My bias right now is upside though. You can clearly see, right, it's had its chance to go lower, it's failed. Now it really should come and take these guys out. But the location for the long isn't great. So I'm looking for dips this morning if they will pay. You can see it here very, very clearly on the H1. We have these old value area highs just under 20,000. So that would be like the last stop. If we start fading underneath that, I'm really not interested. Really, I'd much rather we base up here for this explosive move higher. I think that's how we trap shorts today if it's going to do it. SPY, QQQ in the same kind of position. All right, they're both sat. Well, at least QQQ tapped its 200-day moving average, something to be aware of, but they're both sat up there. QQQ can afford a pullback to 487.40s down to 486. SPY currently is holding that old spike high. It can afford a pullback into 563s, basically previous day high if it wants to. 200-day moving average on the SPY is up at 573.20. Plenty of room for the spiders if they are going to get going today. ES exactly the same, all right, pulling back, dipped under previous day high, reclaiming it right now, reclaiming VWAP looks very, very strong. I've got demand structure here pretty much from where we dipped into this morning, 82s, all the way down to that 5-day moving average at 68s on the ES. Let's have a quick look at the MAG here together. Nice gap up on Apple. Previous day high will be key. You're kind of in a little bit of no man's land, so it's going to have to clear out. Let's just call it 200s because it will be a psychological level. 200s on Apple going to be key. Gapping up on Meta. Again, previous day high needs to get back above that. Let's move these into a 5 minutes. You can see a bit more. Amazon, same thing. Looks good. Basing out above previous day high, very strong. That's a strong gap up. Clear target here. Above that, we keep going. So we're completing. If you think about this, we're trying to complete cups here. Goog, not as strong. Obviously, yesterday, huge sell-off on that AI news. It will need to get back above this pivot here, which is where it's at now. It needs to get back above here for a run back towards those highs of yesterday. So definitely worth having an eye on Goog. Did we close 10% down? I don't think we did. Just missed SSR, I think, on Goog, but worth watching. I doubt you see too much more follow through on that news. Meta, very, very strong versus previous day high. Looks great. It's probably the best looking chart I'm seeing right now. Nvidia looks good. What have we got looking left? Yeah, Nvidia looks great. Target on Nvidia 22s. That's a nice recovery on Nvidia. Tesla, not too bad. A bit of a W pattern. If you're trading Tesla, your first target is 83s. See if you can get through 83s. You get through that, you drift into 88s and back towards 95s. But starting to build out liquidity. You can see again a bit of a W pattern. If it can hold here, it has this shot here. All right, so that's the market for you. How long we got? 7 minutes, plenty of time. Can I get back to NQM? Where are you? Microsoft, Apple, next one should be NQM. There we go. All right, so you should be prepared. You know what I'm looking for. Main thing I'm going to wait for, though, is 10 a.m. All right, I will be waiting for 10 a.m. I don't... As per announcement, supposed between US and UK leaving existence. Yeah. I couldn't see the chart on the Mag 7. Should we do that again? Sorry. Got time. They all look pretty good. All right, Apple gapping up PDC. PDH is where it needs to get to. Microsoft gapping up above PDC. PDH and above is where it needs to get to for a squeeze. Amazon relative strength. Gapping up. Completing the cup. Completing the cup. Can it build a handle here for this kind of look for a giant squeeze? Relative strength there in Amazon. Like the way that chart looks. Goog will need to get back above this pivot here. Remember, Goog yesterday, big sell-off on the Apple AI news. All right, if they reject here, we retest these lows. I don't really think it's likely to crack lower right now, given the news. But if we reclaim that, the squeeze is on. Meta, again, very, very strong. Already completed its cut, breaking out. All the time it's holding above these highs. Continuation trade higher possible. Fade under here, we come back into gap. Nvidia, also very, very strong. Looks great. Nice breakout. You look left on Nvidia, it's got some clear targets to aim for. This liquidity up here will be the next spot for liquidity for Nvidia, 22s. And Tesla. Not too bad. Starting to put in a bit of a W down here. It can base above sort of 80s. It's got this move to take out 83, 88, and then try and get back up towards 300. Okay, it's trying to do this move to curl. A failure back in here, and it's in danger. All right, that's pretty much it. Actually covered for the mag. All right, so most of what I'm thinking right now is post 10 a.m. Is post 10 a.m. All right, so I'm going to really be waiting for post 10 a.m. this morning. I don't really trust anything. I don't want to get into a trade. Say I'm thinking about a bullish trade on a dip, and he comes out and he gives some nonsense deal agreement, and the market doesn't like it. We dump. I don't want to get into trade and get whipped out of it. All right, so I really, in my mind here, like maybe there's a scalp before 10 a.m., but really what I want to do is just be risk off until we get to 10 a.m. and wait and see. I know it's a while to wait, but if something comes up before then, fantastic. But if not, just want to be really, really cautious today, given that we've got news and we know how that news moves the market. All right, let's get through some good mornings here. Morning, Clint, Chris, John, Vince, Miguel, Jeff, Thumper, Christy, Kaladin, Peter, Logan, Gopher Hill, Richard, Leron, Marek, Array, Juan Carlos, Scott, Ramus, Marek, Indicator, Mike, Brad, Brandon, Minix, Raphael, Jesse M, Trentry, DK, Vince, John Lucan, Miguel C, JJ Capt, Stephen C, Stephen W, Andrus, Alan, Gus, Myron. Morning, everyone. Morning. Nesta and Lindell, good morning. I'll be honest with you, I did take a trade overnight. All right, I've been working on my bot, trying to see if I could get it working, and so far it hasn't delivered any good results that I'm interested in. So still having some issues with the bot. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Greg. So I did take a long last night without the bot to dig an account out of drawdown. It's just an eval, but it did lock in about 7,000. Sorry, yeah, just under 7,000. You can see it here. Just one account I've been using just for the bot. So this means this eval account will stay alive a little bit longer, and now I can put it back onto practicing with the bot to make sure it's performing correctly. Obviously, there's a reason the bot's not available for anyone yet, because I'm not happy with what it's producing. So just slowly until I get it shooting really, really well. I need it shooting 70+% for me to make it available. And not just on back testing. It's got to be working forward testing. That's the key thing. All right. Make sure all my charts are set up here. How long we got left? 90 seconds until the open. Morning, Don trades gold. All right, so this first level here that you're looking at, this is the London low and PDH. All right, how we act here, if we do something like this, it can be a trap. If we let go of that, the Globex low is actually all the way down here. But we do have this sort of spike high yesterday and the IB high. So maybe this is quite deep. It's very big, that range, unfortunately. But I would love to see us try and hold the top side of this range. Right, a little trap here will be fine, and I don't mind joining that, risking that at that point. Partial, and then runners, if we're going to really get going up here, would be amazing. That would be the ideal scenario. If we're going to get heavy, if they don't like the news, then obviously I'm not even thinking about a long at that point, because we're right at the top of the range. Remember where we are on the daily. We are at the top of the range. But I just think, given that we failed to break down yesterday, we've built out potentially a daily flag breakout. I'd like to be looking for longs, as long as that news is positive. As long as that news is positive. It's not positive, I want to be careful. Gap fill, remember, to settlement will be all the way down to 960. Here we go then. Into the open, let's see what we get. All of the mag opening up nice and green. Let's move this light down. A bit more on my face, there we go. So yeah, mag all opening nice and green here. Tesla 2% up, Nvidia 0.80% up, Meta 1.5%, Google 1.5%, Amazon 1.25%, Microsoft 1.5%, and Apple 0.82%. Holding the VWAP right now. Let's zoom this in and get the New York open in before I forget. Right here. All right. And I'll put a little anchor man on him. Nice and early. Did that print? I'll wait for the next candle, maybe it will print. Anchor, there he is. I see him. All right, and now we just wait. Let this settle down. Remember, thinking long. I want to see what we do here. Not in a rush so far this morning. Morning, Ash. I don't want to hear any chat about Arsenal today, okay? Any chat about Arsenal, I will be closing down the stream. What an absolute horrifying event that was. Enough to make a grown man cry. Another year without European glory. As I approach my 40th year on the planet, I'm still bloody waiting. Can you believe it? All right, previous day high getting tagged into here, folks. How do we respond here? This is Globex and previous day high. Having a look at the book. The biggest seller right now is up at 300. Do we get a morning flush to buy the dips back into? Yeah, exactly. Am I on tilt? If I was trading yesterday afternoon, I tell you what, I would have full sent it and blown everything up. I can promise you that much. Oh, there's nothing worse than watching your team not just lose, but play like pretty well in the first 15 minutes, and then it just went to shite, didn't it? It just, once we couldn't score, that was it. We were in big trouble. All right, so London low now taken. Remember, gap fill is all the way down at 19,960 if it's truly going to go for that. But really, I'd like to see this hold up here. I'd like to see it sweep, turn back inside, and then see if it wants to find a bid to drive higher. Time will tell. The previous day high, Globex taken. ES doing the same thing here. It can drift a little bit lower here. It hasn't taken out that sort of pre-market dip yet into 81s on the ES. It's holding that so far. Underneath that, you've got the 5-day moving average as support and some structure from yesterday. But well, let's just see what we get. Nice and early here. Oh. All right. VIX trying to have a little poke up to 23s. We didn't talk about the VIX today. Should have probably talked about that. We gapped down. All right, PDL on VIX 23.27, PDC 23.50s. Through that, there's some supply up at 23.90s. And we do have support down here. So we've sort of double bottomed down here on the VIX. So and I want to see the VIX with the market. So I want to see the VIX push up, maybe PDL, maybe PDC, and start to fail for a rotation lower. And then I think the market can move higher. If we don't see that, if it starts just reclaiming, if Trump says something not very positive, then this market will rotate. Remember, we've priced a lot in already. We priced in, 200 plus points overnight in Globex off that first announcement. Who knows what's going to be said? Who knows? When you build things up like that so much, you better make sure you deliver, because if you don't and the market's already priced in, it's going to be very disappointed. And yes, we had, as Miguel said in chat earlier, there has been London US trade talk already, which I think is staying at 10%. 10% is the anticipated rate across. If it's equal rates like that, it's not so bad. The problem really is the China, the 150%, the 245%, all this kind of nonsense. Just reading the reports here. UK looks in pretty good shape at the moment, I would say. Trump's announcement with the UK will be limited in scope, heavy on future commitments, and leave an existing 10% universal tariffs in place, a US-UK official tells CNN. So if he's just going to report on the UK today, no one's going to be interested in that. It's not important enough. All right, let's see what we get here then. Back to PDH. After that dip underneath, if we start to find bids here and we start to cause squeezes, we will see ES is currently still under PDH and VWAP. So this is going to have to really show itself. We'd want to get way, way back above the New York Open and really see some strength here if we're going to do anything. Morning, Paul. All right, seller on the tape here at 140 and 160. Bid on the tape here at 100. Nice to see some people actually turning up to play the market, because there hasn't been much. But I will say above 160 it's just a black hole, and underneath 100 is a bit of a black hole as well. Some small participants into 90s, but that's about it. I'd love to see this book start to thicken up over the next few weeks. Just think we need to get through the tariffs, and then the book will start to thicken up again. And maybe we can start sizing into positions a bit more, rather than being open to vacuums of liquidity, which is what we've had recently. Tesla having a decent day here, 3.62% up. It's starting to really drive here on Tesla. Can it hold its gains? As we drive back towards the VWAP, you can see the blue line is the New York VWAP. And we get over that, we get over the other VWAP, we get over flow zones, we get over the New York Open, no squeeze is possible. Until then, we are still in a downtrend with a gap fill as a possibility if it really wants to get heavy. Remember, most people I would expect, like us, are waiting for 10 o'clock. So ES has now taken out those pre-market lows. So as the spiders. Does it find a dip to reverse after now taking them out? It's finally run that liquidity. So ES just ran this liquidity here. It hadn't run it. It's now run it. Does it find a bid here, or are we staying heavy for that move back down to the 5-day? Get no position yet. I'm really trying to wait for 10 o'clock. If it shows its hand before 10 o'clock, I'll be interested. But really, I'd like to wait till 10 o'clock. All that liquidity just left the book. So already Mr. Spoofer on the tape here today at 140 and 100. Same player because he left at the same time. So he had buy and sells in and he left at the same time. So Spider's coming back down to test that previous day high on the SPY, that is. We've already done it on the futures, remember? But we are testing the New York previous day high on the ETFs right now. Spider's coming down to it. QQQ got a long way to go to get into it. QQQ would have to trade it into 86 even, so it's only at 86.95 right now. Finding a bid in front of it. Probably some front running shorts there starting to cover early. Watching ES into that pivot and SPY into that pivot. I want to see if sellers come in or not. If they don't come in and it starts to reclaim, that's when that squeeze would be on. And we have in QQQ, we've come into demand. I would have expected SPY to dip a little bit further there, but it has back tested some structure. It is finding a bid here. Didn't quite make it to previous day high. Starting to see some bids come in though. Again, we can afford to wait for this market to get going. I'm not interested in bidding down here. I can wait for this market to get going. It can prove itself to us. Don't want to bid against what we're seeing right now, which is selling since, what's this, since 8:30 this morning. All right, so far we're selling. We're selling, and it can continue selling. Maybe in here, more likely in here, I'm interested. We're going to do that kind of move. If it's going to just firm up and show its hand, and I think, yep, these are the targets, then I'm more interested. Until then, I'm not. Back towards Globex or the London low then. Back towards New York VWAP. Nice recovery from ES. I want to see if we're going to start to pivot now. What's the time? It's got 4 more minutes until this orb is set as well. Plenty of time left. Morning, Aga. Yeah, please hit that like button nice and early, folks. Starting to see some recovery here through the New York VWAP. Are we going to get through the other VWAP? Can we start to find a bid? Are they going to squeeze this market back up through the New York Open? Just wait and see what we're going to do here. Maybe wait for that opening range to be set. Starting to look a little bit better though, if it can start to find a bit more volume stepping in here and a push, pull and hold. Remember, main sentiment was to look for buys this morning, unless Trump says something very negative. You would expect us to come and take out the highs. It's just the location is the problem. It can drift right the way down to 20,053, maybe 20,000 if it's going to back test that trend line. But and fibs would be deep as well. We just got to wait. Everyone's waiting right now for that 10 a.m. talk, I think. no one will want to be risk on really before that, just in case it's a nothing burger. Given that the risk went on in Asia last night, you can see, where did that risk go on? It went on here. You can see this move right here. That announcement came right here, just before 9 o'clock. Straight up we go. Find a bid. There's your inverse head and shoulder, and we just bid up. Right, so we've already priced it in from here, remember. All right, basically from PDC, we priced in some positive data already. It's starting to build here. It's trying to build something for a squeeze here. Sellers are on the tape here at 35, 40, 50, and 60. They start to pump through them, then you got room. Mag all still looking very good. Tesla having a decent start here this morning. Apple a little bit sluggish. Goog, not really much of a response given how much it was down yesterday. Only 1.5% up right now. You'd want to see buyers really step into Goog, given that that was, I think it got up to 9% down yesterday. I don't think it went 10%. I don't think it's SSR from what I remember. Hey, Aaron, morning. Yeah, I've got my coffee here, Peter. The first cup of the day. All right, opening range now set. We're dancing towards the bottom side of the range. If we get a squeeze, we're going to be midpoint of the range. Range high is at 174s on the session. So do they break the range here? Do they break to the downside or not? Is it a failed break of the downside of the range? Remember, like we said, SPY didn't get to previous day high. I would have liked to have seen SPY get to previous day high before it found a bid, but it found a bid early, which is strong. DK, hot tea for you. Like an English tea, Irish tea. I like what I call a builder's brew, just a Tetley's or something a bit stronger, a Yorkshire tea. Don't really get them in the States. Hibiscus are very healthy. So still the same thing here, folks. We're in this, we do this, we can reprice. Up here, I'm very interested. Until then, not really. We're protecting that bottom side of the orb so far, but still, you're building liquidity out here. No reason to enter yet. The 40s look fairly key right now on the 5 minute. 40s, 45, somewhere around there. Morning, Yulimar. Range this morning, just 76 points so far. We are 13 minutes away from the tariff talk. There's your opening range low being tested now. Are they able to get follow through underneath that or not is the key. Like I said, SPY hasn't back tested previous day high yet. That's the one thing I'm looking at to see if it wants to back test that previous day high. It's trying to do it on a 5 minute on SPY. It's trying to build that bear flag to get to that PDH and then see if there's bids there. What it wants to do is just unable to break the low so far. If we do that, that means VIX should trade into its gap. Expanding that range. Here goes SPY having a go at it now. SPY looking for that trade down into previous day high, 63.86. I'd say if it gets through that, then there isn't much structure underneath from New York time frame until 61.88. So might as well call it 62. So here we go. Here's the move. There's PDH now starting to back test it. All right. So how we react here is probably key for sentiment. Are they going to hold previous day high? It is just a spike high, but are they going to hold it? QQQ has a little bit further to go still. If they start getting heavy under this, then the gap fill becomes more and more possible. Is that definitely the case though, John? Because that's the news which has come out this morning saying that the deal is going to be with the UK. But is that what he's going to talk about? If it is, then yeah, maybe we go for gap fill because they've probably priced in Asia or something. They're starting to melt back down here into higher time frame demand now. There's your higher time frame demand levels. I'm still going to wait for 10 o'clock, John. Even if it's UK, I don't trust anything. I have zero doubt that he will not just talk about the UK. He cannot help but talk about all the other countries and how great he is and what America is going to do. And it's going to matter what he says. Yesterday he came out like, think about what he's done, like with the Hollywood tariffs. Think about what he said about China, the back and forth, like tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs on, tariffs off. Like, who knows what he's going to say? If he doesn't say anything and is just about this 10% on the UK tariffs, then yeah, I think gap fill is very, very possible here. But again, I don't want to place, what we're doing is placing bets based on a complete unknown right now. That's the risk in my opinion right now. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just wait. I'd rather be flat and just wait. I think you're missing my point here a bit, John. Even if the talk is scheduled to be about UK, can you guarantee me that he doesn't talk about anything else, any other countries, if it's a live press conference? You can't. And this is what I'm talking about. Even if the deal is about the UK, what if he starts talking about all the other countries? What if he starts hinting about the other deals he's done? That is the risk you're putting in if you're going to place a trade before. Exactly, Andrew. Of course he will. Of course he's going to talk about everything else. I'm not interested in trading in front of him. All right? I don't want to get caught. Imagine you were short yesterday in, where is it? Imagine you were short here for this breakdown. You were like playing this bear flag yesterday, for example, in Asia. Where are you? Oh my God, come on. All right. You're short under here versus this, looking for a rotation down into point of control. This was a social tweet. This wasn't even a live press conference. You would have got skipped here, because I was live when this happened. You'd have got skipped 100 points. You would have got filled 100 points later. There's just no way I'm doing that. There's just no way I'm trading against the risk of him talking. Basically is what I'm saying. I'm not trading against the risk of him talking. Totally understand what you're saying. Like, the country he's going to talk about is the UK. Totally understand that. That's why the market's starting to sell off already, because they've probably priced in hoping for a bigger country, so to speak. But I just can't risk it with him. We've seen how the market moves on him. It's crazy. Yeah, it's true, Andrew. We do. We need to download Truth Social because it is where he's posting all the time. Exactly, Peter. Exactly. Remember, our job is to manage risk. Yeah, I think I might have to get it. All right, VIX trying to get up to previous day low. It gets through previous day low, we go into PDC. We're already trading in the gap in VIX now. Yeah, that's the thing, Capped. It's like fairly unaffected. And what I'm reading from the UK right now is, most of their companies are not going to be affected. They've come out this morning saying they're in a strong position right now. Yeah, Kaladin. So next time he says that, are you going to go full send? Are you buying calls? That's what I would do. If he says it again, I'd just buy calls rather than any futures or commons. Far out, so I'm protected. I'm running out of Marmite here, actually, Capped. I might have to ask for a care package to be sent soon. Yeah, exactly. What's your trading edge? Truth Social. I'm really quick at reading Truth Social. All right, watching this opening range here. Basically your 100s, 96 and 100s over under right now. Your orb right now is here. We're still in downtrend. Like I said, still in downtrend here. This would be the orb. This would be acceptance in. This would be drive higher. This is higher time frame demand. This is gap fill down here. And this is Globex lows if it's going to come for it. So far, been fairly decent fade this morning, in fairness, since breaking out of that orb. Again, it's just one of those days where I'm not interested in trading until 10 o'clock. Just trying to be patient. Spiders are just hanging around previous day high here. Nvidia now gone red on the day, by the way, folks. Let's have a look, Andrew. Let's see if I can find one. He's already started posting. The agreement with the United Kingdom is a full and comprehensive one that will cement the relationship between the USA and UK for many years to come. Because of the long-term history and alliance together, it is a great honour to have the UK as our first announcement. Many other deals which are in serious stages of negotiations to follow. See, that's the kind of thing that gets the market warmed up. There you go. That last sentiment statement, you can see that's exactly what I'm talking about. That last sentence in that tweet or Truth Social post, many other deals which are in serious stages of negotiations to follow. It's like you see how this market operates right now. It's desperate for good news. So it reacts off washy statements in a very positive manner. Let's see. Reclaiming the orb here. Back into the flow zones. Same levels apply. Up here, if we start pivoting, I'm more interested. Let's just see. Let's just see. Still in a downtrend for now. Still beneath all the key levels. Still beneath London low. Still beneath New York VWAP. Still beneath overnight VWAP. Still beneath previous day high. But look at the SPY. SPY traded, cannot get 5-minute closure underneath previous day high. Finding a bid there. Not surprising. That's why I said that's the level for me that I'm watching. And the squeeze is starting here. How long have we got? A couple minutes till he talks. If he's talking, is it just is his announcement just going to be that post? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? If it's all that build up for a post on Truth Social, that would also be hilarious. Would not surprise me either. All right, back towards New York VWAP. New York VWAP, top of flow zones, 116s. reclaim that, reclaim previous day high, reclaim VWAP, reclaim London low. This would be a failed auction underneath London low, and we can get going to the upside. Until then, this pivot here is absolutely key. Here's your pivot. This is where we failed from. Back tested, stayed heavy. Back tested, stayed heavy. Dive below. So this will be key for upside. Otherwise, this can still happen. So failing New York view up there. If they're going to send it, and they're just protecting, and this is continuation. This is high time frame demand. This is gap fill closure. Again, just waiting for 10 o'clock here for me. I don't know what he's doing at 10 o'clock. I don't know if it's a live conference or it's if that announcement is going to be it. I have no idea. He doesn't make these things very clear. Well, we can think about the new hourly and new 4-hour candle as well from then. Let's have a look at a 4-hour candle. Yeah, trying to right back into that 6 o'clock level right now and finding a bid there. Okay, here's the new hourly and 4-hour. So we can think about those hourly lows, transitions at sort of 52s, an old high. 61 is the old hourly low, I think, right here. Yeah. And transition of an old hourly high is right here. This is why I've got this marked out as blue. It's quite a big box though, and it can drift down into here. So a little bit cautious on that. Again, mindset is bullish as long as sentiment is a bullish one from Trumpy boy. I'm wondering if that statement is it on Truth Social and there's not going to be anything else. Yeah, I know what you mean, Cap. This was my thinking as well. All right, back inside the opening range. Watching that New York view up. Yes, finding a bid of previous day high again. Again, no closure underneath previous day high. They are trying to build liquidity to move higher here at the moment. If shorts don't get a breakdown underneath that old hourly low, they will get stuck on this hourly candle. This hourly candle can reprice back up towards 21.33. Through that point of control is basically at New York open right now on this session. Apple now red as well, by the way, but Nvidia's found a bid. Apple's not found a bid yet. Rest of the market looking good. So here's New York VWAP. Are we going to get going here? Reclaiming the orb here, fairly bullish. If we can get going here, I'm interested in that upside move. I do think we've got a chance to go and take out the top range highs today, given that we failed to break lower yesterday. Here we go. New York VWAP starting to reclaim now. These are the kind of moves I'm waiting for. Starting to put some size into this now, seeing if we can get a squeeze and acceptance higher. Beautiful. All right, so I'm in from 100 reclaims. Adding into this, I want all dips to be holding here. Not interested in any break below that opening range. I'll add more size in if it can prove above 40s. Not interested in break below a break below 100s. So basically that orb, it needs to hold 98s, let's call it. If it doesn't hold 98s, it would just be a scratch trade for me. So if you're wondering where, make sure I'm on the right chart for you. This pivot here. All right, looking for this to hold, to do this, to come up into these. We'll be taking partials out, maybe here, here, and then trying to hold for a move up into there. Getting stuck at that London low right now. It's going to have to reclaim London for me to really feel comfortable Previous day high and London going to be key. Do not want to get washed on again. It's just gone 10, but it doesn't seem like he's coming out to say anything or do anything. So I think that Truth Social post might be it. Here we go. Come on, flag and go now. Looking to flip those flow zones, looking to hold New York view up. Again, stop is in the money now. Can always add back in, but basically protecting 100. Want to see this. I don't really want to see this drop below 110 now. I want to see it hold a tiny little flag here and just start squeezing. And I need Apple to go red to green, which it's trying to right now. Flat, get green, start going after closing the gap, Apple, please. There's green. I want to see some bulls fly into this market. No. Sellers on the tape here, 25. 30s, 62s. Come on, here we go, market. This is what I'm looking for. Up you go. Don't want a failed push here. Just want a straight up squeeze. There we go. Lovely. All right, let's get going now. Need to reclaim previous day high, which is 34s. So looking for this market to reclaim all of this, all right, and then I'll size in more. If we can get back above here, I'll size in more. Right now, just small position versus 100s. Do not want it to fail. If it fails here, I'm open to this. So this is why my stop is already in the money. Needs to hold 100 on this pullback. Oh, very close to taking me out here. One more dip and I'm gone. One more dip and I'm gone it. And I'm a goner. It takes out that wick, I'm out. I can always re-enter. Holding for now. Need Apple to get going. Tag me out there. Okay, waiting to see if there's a re-entry here. Had the chance to go and couldn't. It's all right. A bit of a scratch trade there. Thought we were going to get going after no announcement at 10. But Apple dragging us down, unable to go green. So just waiting now. Quabs, oh my God, Quabs. You are like the same thing every day. Quabs, do the course. Just do the course, mate. You are literally, you will not make money trading doing what you're doing. I can see you here every day being like, let me know when you're in. Wake me up when you're in. Tell me when you're in. Quabs, you're gambling, mate. It means you're going to be late. I was in on the break back through the opening range. Boom. Looking for that drive up. I'm out. Break even here. Didn't work out. That's okay. I'm looking for a re-entry here if it can do this now. I'm not going to buy any dip down here, and it would need to prove to me now and do this. You've got to do the course, Quabs. You are not, even if you don't do my course, go and learn from a mentor. Do not be on YouTube waiting for someone to tell you when to get in and out. You're just not learning the skill. You're going to get yourself hurt. Morning, Zach. Even if it's not mine, mate, it doesn't have to be mine, but please learn to trade. I get so worried with people turning up, waiting for someone to tell them when to buy. It's just so dangerous. VIX still holding 23s here. It's still trying to get up for that gap fill on VIX, which is a little bit concerning. I want to see VIX start to fail and rotate. So no longs for me right now. This can still bear flag and move lower. Had one attempt, break even here. Never reclaimed flow zones. I was looking for that early move through the opening range. Looks like that statement is it from Trump. So that huge announcement, massive announcement, was a Truth Social post that was leaked early, knowing that it was about UK. That is a joke. What a joke. Okay, it's trying to reclaim opening range again here. Again, you need to be careful here. Let me just close these. I'm struggling to see the screen here. There we go. Need to be careful here because we are bearish this morning. I was looking for this kind of move here. If they keep failing this, the gap fill is possible. If they keep failing, that gap fill is definitely possible. We priced in something that the market's not very interested in right now. Let's put it that way. So he overhyped it yesterday. That's the problem. Is that right, Andrew? Oh, great platform. All right, QQQ coming down to previous day high here. Here goes the VIX, previous day low here on the VIX. Yeah, exactly, Ramus. Loads of free material, but definitely don't be looking for someone to give you signals all the time. All right, order flow staying bearish here. No buys right now. I had that one attempt at that reclaim of the orb, didn't work out. Break even scratch trade there, no damage done. And now we just wait. 5-day getting tagged here on the ES. VIX having a go here at the previous day low. I'm just watching this H1. We've come back into here, seeing failures. If it's going to expand, where's it going to expand to? Like, does it really want to do this move? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's have a look at a fib from the range. $900s maybe on an extension. If it really gets heavy. Very, very tricky right now. This failed breakout yesterday has shorts trapped. We should be technically looking for pullbacks to hold to go higher. It's just where do we find that move? It's the same thing we talked about in Discord last night. If you think about the same, nothing's changed. All right. If we think about Discord last night, sorry, folks. Here. Same thing. I was looking for the same thing even last night. Does it pull back to here before going? Same idea right now after that failed breakout. Starting to create new lows here though on the H1. QQQ didn't quite get to previous day high here. We're into high time frame demand. VIX bashing into previous day low so far, can't get through it. MAG all green other than Apple. Apple 0.5% down. That thing, man, that stock is not a nice investment right now. Nvidia flat on the day now as well, going green to red. Tesla holding up okay, 2% up. Meta over 0.5% up. Google 1.64% up. Amazon 0.65% up. Microsoft just over 1% up. Getting heavier and heavier. Starting to feel more like gap fill is possible here in this market. They are not impressed with that announcement from Trump. It was overhyped, pushed up during Asia for what? For absolutely nothing, it's starting to seem. So here's that old high into the blue box. As we expand this H1, trend line basically will be down to 20,000 over under. Underneath that, we go Globex. So starting to stay heavy here. Here goes VIX for the gap fill. Through PDL, VIX going for gap fill, which means SPY should join in for this move. Oh man, it would have been, it's funny, isn't it? Hindsight's a funny thing. Had there not been a event to wait for 10 o'clock today, I probably would have got short, but it's it's just so hard when he does stuff like that. It gets in the way of technical analysis, and I never want to be the wrong side of something that he's going to do. Remember we said like the actual conversation from Powell yesterday, it was so hawkish talking about stagflation and stuff. And normally, I think they would have sold that off overnight had he not come out and said there was a big announcement today, and now we're giving it all back. It's just games. Right into that higher time frame algo right now, that orange line into demand. Here's the trend line from that H1 where we broke out from. You cannot think about longs right now, okay? We're outside of the opening range. We're breaking down. We're coming for gap fill. You can't think about longs right now. You will have to wait if you think about longs for it to prove itself. Right now, market's shown sell since 10 o'clock. We waited for that news. I had that one attempt long, didn't work out. Counter trend, looking for the opening range reclaim, failed, and we're in sells. And Apple is heavy now, 0.75% down. So do pops continue to fail for that gap fill? I've probably missed it personally now. Definitely that 10 a.m. announcement got in my head. It's all right. No harm done, flat on the day. I actually made a little bit of money on that, tiny bit. All right, they're bouncing off this high time frame algo. Again, not looking for longs. It would have to really prove itself now. Momentum is sell. Volume's heavier on the sell side. We're not too far away from a gap fill if it wants to do it to settlement, but we are holding 5-day moving averages and we are holding old highs. We've found a bid on the previous day high on the QQQ. You would expect pops to fail. Everything right now just become a sell. Could have gone there, didn't. Sold. Everyone looked for that move I was looking for the 10 a.m. announcement and got crushed when they didn't move their stop in. So sell continuation is what you want down to here. And if you're taking this, I would take a partial into here and a partial into the here, and then you can hold for Globex. You want to think about location right now. Not a good location to sell into right now. You need a push up to fail. Wow, PLTR having a good run today. Spider's finding a bid on the 5-day, as is QQQ. You'd think they go for gap fill now. They're that close, but we are into high time frame demand. Nvidia trying to go red to green. Apple's still over 0.5% down. Are we just going to... I was not thinking, I'm going to be honest, I didn't think we'd stay inside this range today, and we still might not. Given that failed breakout of yesterday, given the news that I thought was coming today, I didn't think we'd just sit in this range, but this is... 6th day in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sixth day in this range. This reminds me of like August last year now. I think it was August. We were in like a 20-day range or something stupid. VIX selling in its gap between PDC and PDL. It's coming to backtest 23s right now. If it holds 23s for a re-squeeze up, this market will get heavy. If it fails it, maybe we don't get the gap fill. It would be weird for this market to get as close to these gap fills and not do it, but it's possible. You need to expect sort of a bear flag extension. I want to be careful of that H1 trend. This H1 trend. It can still catch this versus these guys here. Remember, this is what caused the squeeze. This, so we're back testing this. So do we find a bid here or not? It goes VIX 2310s now. Yeah, it's not really playing out a weekly model that, like, remember, weekly models 80% of the time. I mean, it's 20% of the time we don't get a play in it. We're just in a range right now rather than a trending market, unfortunately. Last week was really nice. This week starting to be a bit more range bound. Since what, Thursday last week, really? So back to flow zones. Do they start to resell this again? You'd expect them to go for a gap fill, really. But I'd say if they hold 20,050, shorts can get stuck at that high time frame algo. But really, they should be just selling this for a gap fill now. They're that close that they should just be doing it. There's the 50s. Not much liquidity lower. The book's kind of thin down here. There's not much going on. It's not like there's a huge order sat at 19,960 right now. They're bouncing off that higher time frame demand, that blue box I put in this morning. What number are you showing for gap? Gap, settlement gap is here, this yellow line, 960s. Globex is here. This Globex low, that's settlement gap. This is cash gap. If they want to be, fully gap fill, it will be down here. There is a chance for buyers to step in at some point today versus that. Remember, we broke out on the Aldi. This can be a pullback to hold. If it doesn't hold, then we're just right back in the midpoint of the range. Very hard to think about putting a trigger either way right here when we think about where we are in the range. Think about that last, that high from 20,280s down to that failed breakout of yesterday. But most of the range, I would say, is into 765s. We're just sat at, sort of in the middle of that. It's a little bit of no man's land, which is not really surprising given the lack of, positive data to move out of it that we thought was coming, which is why we started breaking out. But do buyers step in here? Apple trying to find a bid here. I'm sort of kicking myself that I wasn't leaning short today, but I just couldn't lean short with him talking at 10 o'clock. It just felt way too risky prior to 10 o'clock. Starting to see a reaction off that demand now. I don't want to be early here, but I'm just wondering now if they're just going to get going. Like I said, if 50s held, it was going to be a problem. Shorts would get stuck underneath. Why 50s? This right here. This can be where shorts chase and they get stuck in higher time frame demand. Really, the better long will come up here, though. I say the better is the easier long. We're back to the opening range now. Remember, this is the opening range low. We reclaim this. This starts to become more and more possible. New York view up here, absolutely key. So far, selling into it. Finding a bid off the 5-day moving average on the ETFs. Market will not be good again, Raphael, until we are done with the tariffs. We're just going to be in a holding pattern here until. Remember, market needs to price in. The way the market works is we are always looking to the future. We want to price in events early. That's why you have buy the rumor, sell the news. There's no rumor right now that we can buy or sell. We just don't know what's going on, which is what's making it a little bit harder. It's why you're seeing so many failed breakouts in the market, because how can you be risk on unless you're that options trader on the side of Trump when he said, hey, I'm going to pause the tariffs today. That options trader that made like 10 million, was it, in the first 30 minutes on the pause day? And he'd put on, he'd sold puts and bought calls like 20 minutes before the announcement. Unless you're that person, right, you don't know what's going to happen. It's quite hard to put risk on. Downtrend remains here. Rejection of orb, rejection of VWAP. PDC is where it wants to come to. Again, if it holds 50s, I'd be cautious, but we're starting to break through 50s already. Back to that higher time frame demand. It's getting tight here. It's going to have to make a decision soon. Range on the day is a little bit smaller, not a bad thing. 149 points right now. 6 minutes until we get the initial balance set. It's just doing a bit of a dance here. Apple, market all green other than Apple. If you're looking for longs, honestly, you can wait for it to just get back into the opening range, back through the VWAPs, back through New York. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be thinking about a long. You think Trump did this intentionally, saying 10 o'clock? I don't understand on why you would make, it's just, other than like an ego thing, why make such a big deal about such a small announcement and wait until the next morning to say it if you know it's going to be leaked by the UK overnight and stuff? It's just weird. It's been delayed, has it really? So it's not that announcement that he made on Truth. It's something else. US to cut tariffs on UK made cars to 10%. That's from the Telegraph. Been delayed for half an hour. What? So that means it should be starting in 5 minutes if he's actually going to talk. All right, still holding those 50s, like we said. I think there is a chance shorts get trapped under 50 here. This kind of level here, where we broke down from. If this is a higher low and we start doing this, I'm going to start joining and joining and joining. Big ifs right now. Again, we're reacting off higher time frame. This is an RBS level, remember. If we look left, this is why this is here. Where did we break out from yesterday? Please go away with the announcements. Go away. All right, where did we break out from yesterday? Right here. This is your high. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Push, pull. Now we know it's support. We're coming back to that level. Question is, do we find a bid to go higher here, or is it just a pop to fail? And this is why I would just wait to be long. I'd wait for it to really prove itself. You can make it really easy on yourself and do like some trend lines and stuff as well. These are quite steep. Oh my God. This infuriates me when TradingView does this. It doesn't let me draw. Very, very steep, but you can think about something like that. You can think about another one not as steep. Think about this. This is the higher time frame trend line down here. Right, so you can wait for us to start breaking above these. You can make it really easy on yourself. Wait for flow zones to start supporting action. Right now, we're bearish. We're in liquidity building in the higher time frame. We're trying to get bullish on the lower time frame because we're above these flow zones, but you can wait for the momentum and the deep pullbacks to start flipping. So back towards the opening range. This is where we keep failing. We start squeezing above this, then I think, like I said, shorts are going to start getting stuck. Shorts are probably stuck under 50 right now. If we start reclaiming New York VWAP, deep flow zone pullback. So you can see that opening range. Basically, you might as well call it 100. The orb low is 20,100-ish. We start reclaiming that. All the shorts under that are kind of in a bit of pain. So coming back to test that now. We get through that. We get through VWAP. We get through previous day high. There's a good chance we just go rocket ship. Normally, after we see a failed breakdown, we would go to the other side of the range, but the news has not been positive enough to help us do that so far. But if you think yesterday failed breakdown, sellers should have taken over yesterday when we broke those that range low, and they didn't, which means they didn't have the power to get follow through, which means there's some breakout sellers probably stuck down there right now. Still absorbing here. Just trying to put in higher lows now. Still rejecting the orb so far. That 100 over under. There's a seller on the tape, and basically 100 lot up at 110. Okay, thank you, but Bowden, thanks for that. Okay, so Trump should be talking very, very soon then. So he delayed. Would be nice if that came through Financial Juice, wouldn't it? If they'd actually said that. Oh, here we go. He's still posting on Truth Social right now. Or one of his cronies is for him. All right, just waiting. Watching that opening range. This sort of candle high, these candle lows. Acceptance over that is where potential squeeze can take place. Acceptance over New York VWAP is where a potential squeeze can take place. You don't need to be early for it. You can let it just shake out and do its thing. It's tapping into the opening range here. You can see it's getting a little bit whippy around the 100. It's a big level, this opening range. Opening range technically is at 97.75, 97.50, which is the New York VWAP. It's a big level there. When we get acceptance through that, I think shorts can start really getting stuck. Like I said, today I would like to look for dips for that move to the upside. That seemed like the more probable move given what we did last night. We didn't close the gap. So one thing to be aware of, we've left a low hanging fruit. We didn't close the gap. So if they don't like what he says and when he starts talking, you still have a low hanging fruit left below. But we did get to previous day high on the ETFs, QQQ and SPY. We are bidding above previous day high, but we're not above any VWAP right now. So just be aware of that. Order flow from overnight and order flow from the New York session so far is bearish, but we came into higher time frame demand levels. This is the gap fill if they're going to do it. If we can start pivoting above here, I think this is possible because all these guys are very comfortable right now. So you've got stops here for us to aim for if we can do this. If we can't do that, then it's not possible, clearly. I want to be careful that my bias doesn't get me caught today, which is why I'm waiting for the longs if I'm going to get it. Trying to stick with the higher time frame. If you're thinking, why is he so focused on a long? It's the H1 that has me thinking about the longs right now. I know we broke beneath this pivot here, which is why I want to see us reclaim this. Oh my God. Trading views doing my nut at the moment. I want to see us get back above this. Just trying to build a flag here to get enough people involved to get through that opening range. Just trying to build this out here to come and squeeze up here. You can see it. Here's the opening range again. Here we go. Here's the flag starting to break. Here's opening range. Here's VWAP. Now, do they have follow through here? Is there follow through here? Starting to get involved in this now, folks. I know I'm early. Small size. starting to get involved. Want to see us protect that opening range and protect VWAP now and look for a trade through the next VWAP and previous day high. And if we get through that, I can add some more size into it. Flow zone starting to flip. Here's deep pullback flow zones. I want to see get through this. Trade up to 25s, 27s. Start to squeeze through 30. Stops already in the money. Like I said, this needs to protect the opening range low now. It needs to protect basically 100. Remember we said through 100 a squeeze was possible. This flag started to set up. We know sellers can step in here because this is the main pivot. This guy here created this low. So I'm still early technically until we get through here. And stops in the money because if he starts talking, I don't want to get crushed if the book goes thin. Would love to just see a straight squeeze up now. And then I can re-add above previous day high. Here we go. Beautiful. Let's get going now, market. I want Apple and Nvidia to go green as well, just to help me along. Beautiful. Here we go. I'm tempted to take a little piece off here, but I'm really trying to hold my nerve here. Liquidity just being taken, added up into 130, 125 now. There's liquidity being added up there. I want to see it drive up into there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can we get through VWAP and Globex and previous day high? Taking some off here before this flush. Here we go. I can always add back in if it proves. Like I said, this is the strong high that created this low. So really, from a technical standpoint, I feel better about adding if we do this now. Locking some in there. Want to see sort of 100s-ish hold, that VWAP hold, that orb low hold. Do not want to see it start dying underneath 100. So this level here needs to be holding right now. Looking good. Can you hold on? Any fail under this, it probably comes back to flow zones and then not looking to add dips there. Not looking to add dips there anymore. Sold partials, looking to see if we can get a continuation squeeze. This can just fail, like we said. We know where that strong high was. It's a big level on the H1 as well. You can see we're trying to trade it back inside value area. There's a lot of volume here into 20, and then it gets a little bit thinner. So they're protecting 20s. So this area here is key to get acceptance above. So it won't be adding anymore until that. I'm not going to give Saka a hard time. Like, he missed an absolute sitter, but he played really well. So, you know, it happens. Donnarumma in goal was absolutely incredible for them. You know, we could have had 3 or 4 goals in the opening 15 minutes. Right, completely out of this now and just waiting. Is this cretin going to talk today, or is this just like constant nonsense? Still nothing. He's now posting about how Jerome Powell's an idiot. I mean, it's just crazy. This is a president doing this. Criticizing Jerome Powell, by the way, who he put in, just in case you didn't know that. Trump saying there's virtually no inflation. Okay, buddy. Whatever you say, buddy. All right, so failing to get above here, like we said, still possibility of PDC. We left that low-hanging fruit. That's why I said I'm early and I'm being very, very cautious. Here you can see so much weakness coming into this market now. Nvidia getting hammered here. Yeah. Like, I just feel sorry for those guys, man. They had a good season, but ultimately, you know, 3 or 4 mistakes cost them. First goal in the first leg was a joke. It was like a great finish. We had loads of chances to score. We had disallowed goals. Second leg, first 15 minutes, we played amazing. Couldn't score. Donnarumma was unbelievable. Like, I couldn't believe that volley from Odegaard didn't go in. What a save that was. I think we score, you know, in the first 15 minutes we go through, but we didn't. It is what it is. You know, we lost. I just got to accept it. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. Another trophyless year. What are you going to do? It sucks being a sports fan, doesn't it? Only one team wins at the end of the day, so it means everyone else is upset. All right, so bearish momentum continues. Remember that PDC is possible if they're going to stay weak. SPY back down to previous day high. Does it find a bid here now on the SPY? There's a seller at 90 and then there's a big gap up to 15. They're leaving gaps in the chart again. What is going on with the liquidity on this book the last week? It is not nice. Ever since we've been in this range, the liquidity on the book has been disgusting. All right, possible here for a micro head and shoulders if they're going to let this go. But again, I'm not playing the short side. If he's going to start talking, I'm not playing anything. Just flat right now. We had another attempt. That's 2 attempts now. 1 scalp with some money. 1 break even. I don't see anything coming from him. He's now 40 minutes late. Imagine being a hedge fund having to deal with this stuff. I just can't imagine how much of a headache they're getting. Trump and UK's PM Starmer held a warm conversation on Wednesday night and will speak again this morning. Great. When? Useless information. Another inside day. Can you fucking believe it? Are you joking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in this crappy little range. Adam, yeah, maybe. I mean, I think we miss Gabrielle. I mean, I cannot stand Curie or whatever he's called. Like, I can't stand him. Cannot stand him. The other thing I'd say, as much as I love Lewis Skelly, he got absolutely owned last night. He got owned, mate. Brave player on the ball. He's only 18. He's got ages, but last night you saw the difference in experience. He got bullied around. We miss Gabrielle big time. You can feel it. Exactly, Raphael. Like, everyone's just like doesn't know what to do, so everyone's just still. It's boring though, isn't it? There's no A+ trade here for me. Like, I'm looking, we said, but the higher time frame, I'd like to look for dips, but we haven't got going. At no point did the flow zones shift. Like, we had 1 attempt, and that was all it did. And like I said, I'll only add with size once we get back above here. I know this is pivotal today, up here. Like, they can use this to go lower. They can break down here. They can also do something like this to get back up, but they're not going to do anything if this absolute Wally will not come and talk when he says he's going to talk. He's got to understand the effect he has on the world with what he's doing. All of the market now green other than Nvidia. Nvidia now 0.5% down. Market's just in a holding pattern here. Still nothing. Now 43 minutes late to his announcement. So that micro head and shoulders look like it might play out. PDC still hasn't been filled, remember. Gap fill's right there. I didn't, Belden. No, I missed it. I missed it. It's another prime minister I can't take seriously, Starmer. Brian Badondi. Bah! It's just the worst, mate. You guys in the US won't know what I'm talking about. There used to be a comedy show called Face Jacker and Phone Jacker. You can look up Brian Badondi. That is our current leader. If you didn't know, he makes some absolute horrific errors. Like when he asked for Palestine to free the hostages, he instead said, "We must free the sausages." Are you kidding me? Talking about a prime minister here, talking about freeing sausages in the House of Lords to the world watching. Like, you can't believe these people are in power. Free the sausages. What an absolute clown, mate. Absolute clown. Embarrassment. Have I ever seen The Apprentice? I have, yeah. It's crazy, man. These are our world leaders, you know. These are our world leaders. It's every country's got the same problem right now. I'll tell you what it is. No one wants to be leader. No one with any common sense wants to be leader. Everyone's like that. That sounds like a shit job. Well, I don't want to do that. The headache's too big. All right, still in this holding pattern. That PDC is still there to be taken if it wants. We're inside the initial balance right now. I forgot to say that. You can see the purple lines. That's our IB. We're still in a sell. This can still break down. Everything's still heavy. We never flipped, like I said, when we were up here. It had a chance, but it never flipped the deep pullback. So I was looking counter trend long and I was early, like I said, which is why I was very, very sharp on the trigger. Holding that higher time frame algo, but I would not be surprised to see gap fills coming today. Would not surprise me in the slightest unless we get stuck down here. I'm just waiting now. Oh, great. Number 10 said to the media he will be there for the announcement, but he's actually at a car plant in Solihull in Birmingham. I don't know, man. Adam, I anchor from the New York Open. If you're trading London or Asia, you can anchor that. I don't really trade them, so this is from New York Open. This is just your standard VWAP, 0 standard deviations. It runs constantly, so this will start at the new print every day. So the moment that market reopens at 6 o'clock, this VWAP will start. Coming back down towards low of day now, folks. I'd say a little bit of relative strength here in the spiders. VIX trying to get going here, still just at 23s. We're still inside the initial balance. We still have gap fill potential to PDC. We're still waiting for Trump. I don't expect the market to do much right now until we make a decision. I'm not really interested in taking a position. Technically, we've been in a sell all morning. Maybe I should have joined that sell at the opening bell, but I just felt so risky to do that, thinking he was going to talk at 10 o'clock. We're now almost an hour later and he still hasn't said anything. All right, I'm going to be right back here. I don't think we're in danger of him talking. Just going to grab a drink, use the bathroom. Oh, look at that. I had a chance to get a coffee, go to the bathroom, check my phone, write a tweet, and still nothing's changed. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So protecting the IB low so far, still inside range. Oh, he's talking. Well, hey. Well, hey, 50 minutes late. What's he saying? What's he saying? Do you want me to do it in his voice? Probably not. It'll annoy you all. UK PM Starmer is on the phone. This is a very special day. Tremendous deal for both nations. I concluded a rare earth deal with the Ukraine, speaking to Zelensky. There we go. Like I said, already talking about other stuff. I reached a breakthrough deal with the UK. The UK is one of the most cherished allies. Yada, yada, yada. We're all the way back to VWAP already here, folks. Is he going to say anything that the market likes, though? That's important. Back to VWAP, back to deep flow zones. Remember, my bias if he says something good based on the H1, is that this can be a pullback to go higher. This can be a pullback to go higher, but it will need to reclaim these levels here. Remember, we failed here earlier, so it would have to reclaim those levels. It's really going to depend on what he says. Unfortunately, I don't trade news. I trade technicals, but I'm not going to bet against a man that loves to pump the market. But let's just see. I haven't seen anything else being said yet. Anyone got a live link for it? BBC is showing Starmer listening to him on loudspeaker. This is like crazy, eh? All right, maybe we start reclaiming here. The US-UK deal increases market access for US exports, increases access for US beef and ethanol, and will reduce non-tariff barriers. I'll see if I can find out. I haven't got a link anywhere. I clearly don't like something. Stuck at VWAP again. Here comes the liquidity back and forth, no doubt. Boom. Big old fail off the VWAP. Oh, we're going for gap fill. Final details will be written up in the coming weeks. So you've just done a press conference about something which isn't even finalized. Gap fill coming up here, folks. So it's something they didn't like there for sure. Nvidia selling. Here goes the 20,000. PDC very, very close now for a gap fill. ES also doing the same thing. Gap fill on the ES will take you down to 51s. You're watching the initial balance for auction, failed auction, and gap fill and Globex underneath. We will receive new market access for US chemicals and machinery. Just be careful. Volume starting to increase here. Books completely cleared out. No one on the book right now participating. A little bit of a buyer at 20,000 and that's it. We have many meetings planned. Every nation wants a deal. It's a lot of like hyperbole, should we call it. The phone won't stop ringing. Everyone wants a deal, but I'm not going to tell you who because no one's rung me. Like, it's just so stupid. Besant meeting with China will be interesting. Okay, that's probably what sold the market off. That's probably what sold the market off. Coming down for that gap fill by the looks of it. Gap fill and Globex, I would say. Globex is the orange box. Gap fill is the yellow line. Like we said, the low-hanging fruit hadn't got taken. So SPY very close to filling that gap now, folks. So just be careful. I don't know if you're in this. I'm not in anything, like I said. Just waiting. The deal includes to bring the UK into an economic security alignment with the US. The US and the UK will work together on steel. So maybe X is running on that. I don't know if any of you trade X, but it's US steel. China wants to make a deal very badly. Porky. You want to make a deal very badly. China can be resilient. They don't need to do a thing right now. Okay, back towards IB. Did they reject IB? Again, we haven't filled the gap yet. We got close, but we haven't filled the gap yet. The deal will boost trade and create jobs. Rejecting initial balance low, therefore, now on the NQ. We're still above it right now on the ES. Gap fill potential is there to the yellow line, and Globex is underneath, like we've talked about. You can see Globex underneath. So do they find bids down there, or are we going straight sell? If we go straight sell through all these, we're going to go all the way back down towards the low end of the range. Here goes the try of initial balance again. 5-day moving average here on the SPY again. These are big levels here, folks, on multiple time frames. Rejecting that IB again for now. This is the question. Auction or failed auction? You would like to see the gap get filled properly first. It would just make it easier than leaving a low-hanging fruit beneath if you are looking at trading upside, that is. You'd like to see a gap get filled first, probably. It'll make the trade easier for you. Book's still pretty thin here, folks. Very thin upside. ES right at its 5-day. SPY just above its 5-day. ES and SPY through their initial balance already. The market all green other than Nvidia. Nvidia still in a sell. 0.75% down. Rest of the market holding up. We have still left PDC untouched across all indexes right now. So there's a low-hanging fruit down there if it wants to be fully efficient and close the gap. That is your risk of thinking about a failed auction long right now. That's the only risk I would say, is you have PDC and Globex right underneath you looking to get filled. And that would be the efficient move. I can't see anything else coming through yet. Okay, it's having another attempt here to get through the initial balance. Failing there again. Like I said, PDC is a low-hanging fruit. You're seeing massive liquidity being injected here. This is bigger volume coming in here. Just be so careful here, folks. Shut up, Starmer. Cretin. Bah, 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 bah. He's such a bell end, mate. Go get on your knees. Gobble it up. You can't make this stuff up. It's literally like blowing themselves off. If they could remove their rib cage to suck themselves off, they would, these lot. Right, here we go. Let's see what happens now. Is this guy going to shut up? Can we get on with the market doing something? Still have not filled the gap, folks. All right, that PDC is still sat there. I'm trying to be quiet here, folks. Sorry. I'm trying not to annoy any of you. Just find it hilarious. The hardest deal ever to get done. No one had done it. They've been working at 25 years, but we got it done. And then Starmer's like, well, I've got lots of things done no one else has ever got done. Shut up. Stop blowing yourselves off, honestly. Crazy. We don't need Boris. We don't need any of these folks. We just need someone half decent. Still not filled the gap here, folks. That PDC is still low-hanging fruit, has not been efficient, have not filled the gap. Still have Globex low-hanging fruit below, still protecting 20,000. Still not interested in doing anything in this market right now. I tell you what, no one in the UK is buying American beef. I can tell you that for free right now. That would be like the worst sale ever. Why would we buy that when we can get it from Ireland when it's grass-fed with better ingredients, or from New Zealand? No one is buying genetically modified, fed crap beef from America. Not unless Bobby is able to change the legislation on what you feed animals here. Could these lot suck each other off anymore? Are we at a school ground or are we in the Oval Office, mate? Jesus. Dash Trader, I don't. I used to use Dash Trader for trading small caps. I don't use it for futures, though. All right, yes, still holding initial balance. We are doing nothing here because these lot are yapping away about a load of bollocks. Effectively, absolutely nothing was said in that huge announcement. Biggest announcement ever in the world. Absolutely nothing's been said other than that they've done a deal. I know, Ash. It's crazy, isn't it? Sellers are still looking to close that gap into PDC here, folks. You're still watching the initial balance. Squeeze will be a trigger back through sort of those 50 areas that we talked about earlier, but you still have low-hanging fruit to the downside. PDC is still sat there. Yellow line. Globex is still sat there. Orange box. Not interested in taking a trade right now. It's high risk both sides, especially while this guy won't shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. You're not saying anything. Merrick, I like that. Here you go. Here's a new suck-off point. Oh my God, it would have taken us 3 years, but Donald got it done in 45 days. Jesus Christ, man. You a politician or abroad? You should go to Bangkok. You'd fit in well there, buddy. Jesus. I'm just having a bit of fun, folks. Don't get upset. Just doing something because I'm not trading because this is so boring. Finally, someone with some sense talking. Okay, reclaiming initial balance here. Market wants to try and get going. We have not been efficient. QQQ coming up to previous day high. SPY coming up to previous day high. These are big, big levels here, folks. Start reclaiming that. A bigger squeeze is on. They still have the press conference so that you're aware. We have still left PDC gap open. But here's the 50s that we talked about. These are the 50s that we talked about. These are big levels. This is where we potentially set that squeeze earlier. Oh, it's a British one. Reclaiming 50s, 60s now. Watching VWAP here to see if we reclaim New York VWAP and if we're actually going to get going because the English one is talking. VWAP key here, folks. All right, you're still in this. Don't you start sucking them off as well, mate. Into this imbalance here. Really, the pivot needs to be above 88.90s. Previous day high here on the SPY, folks. QQQ through it. VIX back down to 23s. These are the levels. PDH, 23s on the VIX. 23s fails on the VIX. We go back down to 22, 33s, and we fail that. This market can squeeze. Do you Americans and Canadians find this accent funny? Are you watching this guy? I think everyone thinks all Brits talk like this. Still in negative bearish order flow here. Book's still very, very thin here, folks. If you have a look at the order book, it's very thin. Under 50, there's nothing. Yes, we're looking forward to doing it. All right. Buyers now need to be holding 40s, really. You need to be turning, if buyers are really going to step in here, they need to turn this resistance into support or up here in continuation higher. If we're going to continue to drift up, this is truly bullish without filling the gap. That's what we're looking for. Still right now, you still have ES starting to get through PDH. We are starting to build through VWAP here. It will need to build liquidity to get through it, I'd say. Nice, Tyson. Yeah, that IB reclaim looking pretty good right now. I want to see a dip hold into 40. I'd consider it. I just want to be careful while they're still talking. It is a shame we didn't close the gap. Don't like it that we've left low-hanging fruit very, very close. We got down to a low of, what, 78? Gap fill was to 60. Would have been nice if it just closed it. Same on the ES. Low on ES was 53. Gap fill was to 52. They tried to make a deal. They couldn't make a deal. I made the deal. A significant deal. A maxed out deal. A great deal. The best deal. How many more things can you put in front of it? It's a big deal. All right, see, let's see if they hold these tips into 40s, into flow zones. Let's see if they can start holding these flow zones and start looking for that push back above the New York VWAP through 90s up to the old VWAP. And you've got to be very aware, if they don't hold IB and they don't hold 40s and 50s again, we've left that gap open. We are bouncing right off what? Right off the trend line. Anyone says trend lines don't work? There's your trend line. Doop. Bouncing right off it right now. Some basic Malaysian S&R there on high time frames. So let's see. The book's still really thin. There's not much for it to aim for. Hey, Lucas. Yeah, I'm down by Manhattan Beach, not far from there. Here you go. Here's VWAP. Here comes the squeeze. Adding into this now. Let's see if we can get a bit of a move here. Looking for a bid straight through here. I want a straight squeeze up. I'm not trying to hold on to this too long. Come on, market. You've got more than this in you. Get through that VWAP. Let's get going to the upside. Looking for a move to the next VWAP. Through this blue line to green line, basically. If we can get through previous day high and the Globex level, that orange box, then I'll think about adding more. China wants to make a deal. Okay, good. Go on that news. I'm long now. Let's get going. Here we go. Boom. China wants to make a deal. Boom. All right, let's keep going. Looking for a trade up into here now. So we pivoted through here. Looking for this, ideally. I want to be very careful into here. We know this is a big level. Sellers have been up here all day. So I want to be taking partials into there. If we get above and base, I look for a continuation. The one danger, like I keep saying, the one danger is we left this. Leaving this open is never nice, but here's what it is. Nice, Tyson. Lovely work. VWAP here on the SPY. VWAP here on the ES. ES tapping into the VWAP there, getting stuck. Did just clean up a load of liquidity there. Book's still a little bit thin. Here you go. That's what I was saying. We're not going to accept your beef, mate. It's shit. He's... This is what I was saying. So he's now starting to talk about it. This all comes down to Kennedy. If Kennedy fixes the food issue in America, then I'm sure the UK will think about importing it. But really, why would we need to import it when Ireland is right next to us? And we have so much beef from the Cotswolds and Gloucestershire, and we don't really need it, but okay. No, it's not. Who's this crackhead talking? That is a straight up lie, saying that the American beef is the best in the world. It is absolutely not. It is one of the worst in the world, which is why you have Bobby Kennedy trying to fix it right now. So that is absolute nonsense, what this woman's just said. Hilarious. Best beef in the world comes from Argentina, New Zealand, and Ireland. Fact. Okay, so you know the best tractor is a Lamborghini tractor. Again, not American. Oh, God. It's hilarious, isn't it? Next, you're going to hear that America makes the best champagne in the world. And it's just, it is amazing, the nonsense that is said. I don't even dislike these lot. It's just like, just say the truth. The truth is exactly what that reporter just asked you. Are you going to fix your beef so we actually want to import it? Yeah, Wagyu. Here we go. Here's a squeeze. Thank you. Let's get through this next view up level. Still in this long, looking for continuation. ES now through the view up. I would really like to get us to get through this next green line. Get through here. I'll think about adding. All right, if we can do this, I will think about adding. Watching New York open, and I really want to target all these stops up here. There is a chance for us to get up here, folks. I know it might seem mad, but there is a good chance to come and take out all these levels up here if we're going to get going to get today. Oh my God, it's not letting me draw it for you, unfortunately. But you can see what I'm looking for. Red box is where I'd like to get going to. That will need acceptance over the IB high. We're back. We're just back inside the opening range right now. The first 15 minutes of the day is where we're at right now. Let's do a print off this low. Yeah, that's that level 40s that we talked about. Okay. Let's see. See if pullbacks hold now. ES stuck at its VWAP. NQ didn't quite make it to VWAP. Good. We've had good buying pressure come in here on the volume. Looks good. You can see buying pressure stepping in. The question is, how much continuation does this market get right now? He's still talking here, folks, by the way. QQQ coming into its VWAP as well. Here's VWAP. There's the extension. Ripping through now. Beautiful. How high can we go now? This is fantastic. This is what I want to see. I will add here if we start to really get going. I will add here, folks, if we start to get going. But that was definitely a stop run here. Want to see us get through previous day high here and hold. Getting very whippy here, folks, as we trade into Globex, into previous day high. Can we really get going now? Holding VWAP. We're still inside of initial balance, still inside of opening range. Starting to break out, though. This is starting to build nicely. This is what I wanted to see all day long. I want to see us push outside of this orange box, pull back, and then hold it for me to add any more size in. Looking good, though. Nice, Tyson. Great work. Yeah, previous day high tagged. We're going to have to wait for probably flow zones to catch up and get through previous day high and lower time frame algo. We get that move, and then this can be off to the races. ES approaching IB high right now. VIX dropping under the 23s like we talked about. Market alignment looking good. I still think we can go higher here. There is a chance to move into this red box. This is what I want to do. Look at the volume there on that last two candles. Big volume. Someone got wrecked there. Can we get up here now? That's what we're looking for. Here's previous day high. I want this to just get straight above this and start squeezing now. ES at high of day as well. Got to be careful here into the initial balance on ES. If we start to build above initial balance, obviously we get trend day. I'm thinking about those new highs. That was a great deal. Previous day high here again, looking for that squeeze through it. Come on, get going. There's a new high day printed there. I want ES to get going with it. Come on. You can do it, market. Come on. Here we go. Beautiful. Lower time frame algo here. Looking to add into this if we can start to base now, especially if we get through that lower time frame algo. Beautiful. Beautiful. Here we go. I want all pullbacks to hold previous day high in Globex now. I want pullbacks to hold previous day high and Globex for a continuation higher. Here's previous day high. Here's Globex previous day high test. Want this to hold for a continuation higher. Just looking to play this squeeze. Beautiful. This is what I want to see. Come on. Let's keep going now. Liquidity on the book here, 150. Watching that seller at 150. Want to be careful into him. 50 lot. Want to see us rip his face off. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go rip his face off. Let's go straight up to New York Open here. All of the market now green. ES now through initial back. Let's go. Baby. We waited for it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 150 taken out. We're going high day, man. We are going to go and take out these highs today. This is what I wanted. I love it. All right, those in Discord, just have a look at what I posted last night, what we were looking for versus the trend. This is what we wanted. This pullback to trend to then go back to those highs. Have a think what we are currently getting today. What was the pullback to? We pull back to trend, and we're going for these highs. That's why I wanted to be focused on buys today. We just had to wait for Trump to talk. All right, New York Open here. Take partials along the way, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Higher time frame, man. I'm telling you, you got to understand the higher time frame. Here goes the squeeze. Initial balance coming up. Opening range high, IB high, all the way up in 76s right now. This can afford to take a breather, remember. We are in a squeeze right now. This is a squeeze, so don't be surprised to see this pull back aggressively when it's ready. This is straight up right now. We are looking, you should be taking a partial into here, then you're looking at liquidity here. 84, 200s, 225s, 260, 280, 300s. All right, through 300s, we're going 500s, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Pay me, baby. I had to be patient for it today. Unfortunately, this is what happens when a man turns up 50 minutes late. You got to wait for the market. I would have loved to see that gap fill first. But once we put that W in down there, and once we started to reclaim, right? Dum, 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 dum. W, pivot, reclaim, reclaim IB, reclaim VWAP, reclaim VWAP, reclaim previous day high. We're just reclaim, reclaim, reclaim. We're trying to take everyone out of the market right now. Remember, the market was bullish. How was the market bullish? Because we broke out. This is a return back in. Bullish leg, pullback leg, looking for continuation. Why did I have that? Because we failed to break out yesterday. This is where shorts got trapped. So then when we broke, they're getting squeezed. This is a pullback to go long. Think about a Wyckoff. Think about what we did yesterday on a daily. That is your spring. The failed breakdown is always where people get trapped. Always, 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 always. Failed breakout, failed breakdown. That's where traders get trapped. We talk about it all the time in the stream. Most traders are breakout traders. They're the ones that get trapped. Hopefully lots of you still in this. You should be locking some money in here though, folks. Like, I joined this a little bit later and started adding in. I joined at 40s, I was adding in at 80s, and I was adding more in at 100s and 110s, and we're all the way up now. Here's IB high. We're looking for a squeeze through IB high. Previous week close, remember, is 195s. Oh, baby, did we get a trade here today? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's take out that previous week close at 94s. Let's get through the 200s and let's go all the way up to previous week high. Would be amazing. And then if we get through that, 300s, 200-day moving average where we want to back test, and then through that we are we're going 500s. You wish you could see the time in my chart. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Like that. I'm sorry. I didn't even know it had done that. Sorry, Idris. Here we go. Still holding. Still holding through previous week close now. Looking for that move into 230s now. Through 230s, we're looking for 277s. I don't even care what he's saying now. He said everything I needed to say. We're going to do a deal with China. Boom. That's it. That's all I needed. We're doing a deal with China. Boom. That's all the market cares about right now. They don't care about anything else other than China. I'm telling you. No one gives two Fs about anything else. Look at this beautiful move. Like I said, you can afford stuff like this. This is why you got to take partials. Be aware. This is straight squeeze up. You can afford big violent pullbacks. You got to pay yourself. Think about where flow zones are. Lower time frame algo. We can afford pullbacks to here. It's previous day high, Globex, VWAPs. If it really wants to come down here, it can. But ideally, it holds this, builds out something new, and we go again. But I've already paid myself a ton of money on this move, folks. And so should have you. We were entering long. Oh, my God. Why won't you draw? Here, 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 here. Out most of it now. Gonna wait to see if we base here or base here for a rego. So far, failed auction so far. I still think we go higher, but so far, I've got to respect what we're seeing in the chart. Not what I think is going to happen. We have to respect what we're seeing in the chart. VIX finding a bid off that 22.25 that we talked about right at the beginning of the day. That's high time frame demand. Finding a bid there. I would like to see every pop on VIX up towards 22.65 to 22.75 get absolutely hammered. If we do that, we're going for highs. Nice work, team. W is in chat for all those who caught it with me. W's in chat if you caught that with me. Bruce Sands, thank you, mate. Made a quick 1,600. Congratulations. Minix with a W. John Lucan, Clint, Steve, Daniel, Brandon, Vince, Andrew, Brad, Belden, Emmett, Pat, Christy, Thumper, Lee, Priska, Abe, Tyson. Love it, buddy. Great work. You didn't even need me to say it. You knew what you're looking for. JJ, Michael Pope, Phenon. That's the difference when you do the course, folks. Tyson knew. Right, I'm taking IB Reclaim. Didn't even wait for me. He was in. Reagan, Squire, Trader Jens, Matt Trader, Leron, Lucas, Scott Sullivan. Nice, Scott. I'm glad you got it back. Nice work, folks. Squeeze continuing here. Make sure you're paying yourself. All right, look at the dip back to flow zones and the lower time frame moving average. This algo right here. Boom. It wants to go up. So if it doesn't hold this, this is where it can dip to. But right now, holding flow zones, holding lower time frame algo, we get that cross there. That is very bullish when we do that. And you can see what I'm looking for it to backtest. Been looking for this for a few weeks now. But we are right now at previous week close. 94.50s is previous week close. Only got 40 points. Gus, 40 points still pretty good, mate. There's other channels who take scalps for 10 points and make a living out of it. So 40 points, give yourself a pat on the back. It's still pretty decent. We're going to be very much involved. Still looking for that move to previous week high if we can get going. Globex level 30s, 230s, previous week high 77s. Nice work, team. Those of you stuck around with me who put up with my shitty impressions and me moaning about people and being a typical Englishman having a good old bitch and moan. Those of you who are willing to put up with it will get a good trade with me every now and again. I've got to have some fun on stream sometimes, folks, because it gets boring when I'm sat here the whole time doing nothing. So hopefully I didn't wind any of you up too much. All right, VIX starting to break down here. See if VIX can break this lower day. High time frame demand on VIX is 22.22 down to 22 even. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button here every day, Monday to Friday. From pre-market, 9:15 in the morning, go over what I'm looking for. This was exactly what I was looking for today. Let's just see if this market has any more juice in it. It needs to rebuild a little bit. We can't just go straight up. We squeezed everyone out who was hammering short. Squeezed everyone out. Technically, from a technical point of view, we should be going for new highs out of this range today because we failed to break out of the lows yesterday. So technically speaking, once we do that, that's a failed move. You would expect us to take out the highs. Oh, the Englishman is talking again. It continues. Nice work, Tyson. Hey, mate, you made big money. I'm still in this, looking for that move up, but you made big money today. Just be happy with it. I want to see us get to 300s to that 200-day moving average. Ken the Northlander up 4,500 for the day. Hit my limit. Thank you. You're welcome, buddy. I want them to bring splitting image back. I think it'd be amazing if they brought that back. Especially given the people in power now. Like, you could do some amazing stuff with that. See if we can get this drive up. We really want to get back up to those Globex highs. Is it Globex highs? London highs. Yeah, looking for London highs. And I really just want to break out of 278 and get to that 200-day. Here we go. Oh, my God. We're going to do it, folks. We are going to do it. We are going to do it. That's what makes me laugh. It can never just be a good deal. It's a bigger, better, stronger deal. He's like Daft Punk. He has to say 3 things in a row all the time. Yeah, exactly. He got cancelled, didn't he? What was his name? Who did Bo Selector? He got cancelled for Trisha. That made me laugh. Of all the people to get cancelled for, not Mel B, Harry Bush, not any of that. He got cancelled for the Trisha Rice and P one. Oh my God. Keith Lemon. Poor guy. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom here, folks. Be right back. All right. On the 150k account, is the 4,500 hard off half of the 900k? Is that end of day? I went a little over and lost some to get back to. Yeah, end of day, Ken. What are you trading? Top step or TPT? But yeah, end of day is fine, mate. Doesn't matter if you peeked through it. Doesn't matter. Actually, Andres, that's actually quite good, what you're saying. You took a lot of losses and you covered with just one winner. I mean, that's actually pretty good. That's what you want. You want your paper cuts to be, you want your winners to be notably bigger than, paper cuts. TPT, yeah, that's fine. Ken, that's fine. So you just need one more trading day of 4,500 but you still have to trade 5 days. So like, for 3, I don't know how many days you're in, but for the 3 other days, if you make 4,500 tomorrow, for the 3 other days, just flip them. Just do a micro buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, 3 days in a row, and then you're good. All right, we're getting stuck here at previous week close. We're building liquidity here. This is supply across the markets right now. I still think we have the ability to go higher. It's just whether enough of them are currently trapped. But I'm holding here to try and see if we can get up to 230, 280, 300, 500 if we really want to go absolutely mental today, which is what I would love that to happen. Here we go. Here's the squeeze up. Here's Globex high about to get taken out here. So 28s here for Globex high, or 30s, let's call it. Through that, we're going previous week high. I'm still holding this. Boom. Through Globex we go. Can we get up to 280s and then 300s? Let's keep going here. Here we go. Previous week high coming now, folks. Next place we're going. Let's go. Let's get up to previous week high. And you can tell I'm having fun today. It's nice when trades work your way like this. Just managing positions. Into supply here. Did ES just take that out? Hang on. Let me have a look. Pivot on ES 1750. You want to see ES get through 1750? I'm going to have to go back further here. Get on an hourly. So yeah, let's call it 1715, 18 on ES should take you back up to 24, 25. So we're looking to do the same thing on NQ right now. Exactly the same thing. Get through this hourly pivot here of 260. Then we're going to take out. Oh my God, here it comes. Oh my God, we're going, baby. We are going. Looking for 300s now. I want to take out 276 and 300s. I've just been adding into this on the way up. Oh my God. Understanding higher time frame. Let's go for that 200-day moving average. Moving my stop up. Shorts are absolutely cooked because they do not follow higher time frame. Previous week high here, 276. Through that, we go 300. 200-day moving average. I'm going to just double check this right now. Is at around 316s. Oh, baby! Previous week high now taken. We're going 300s. Through the 200-day moving average, we're going 500s. You best believe it. We are in a squeeze. This market is full of shorts about to get cooked. Name someone else doing this. I gave you this from the beginning of the day. Told you exactly what I'm looking for. Here's the 200-day moving average coming up. This is the back test for a big level. You must take a partial into this. Through this, we have a chance to go 500s, but you must take a partial into the 200-day. This is respected by so many institutions. This is what the market likes to look at. QQQ already through it. SPY will need to trade all the way up to 57320 to get there. ES will need to trade up to 5781 to get there. Low-hanging fruits have been taken. We just absolutely wrecked these shorts. I need to get a little net there, and every time we have a trade like this, I need to put it up. Come on! You lot should have made so much money with me today. What a beautiful... Even if you just did nothing else but used my buy signal. Boom. That's all we had to wait for. Michael Pope, eval passed. Congratulations. Still going here. 300, 200-day moving average. Boom. Tagged. Partial out here. Thank you very much for playing the game. Looking for a runner now and a reload for 500s. You're 250 points up on this trade, folks. Just saying. I want to play tunes. I'm a happy man. We are crushing today. Remember, this is a big squeeze from here. This can afford a pullback. Look how we tagged the 200-day and got stuck to the... Oh, moving averages don't work. ICT, shut your mouth. All right, this is an institutional level. Do I think we can get through it? 100%. Does it matter? Yes, there's the reaction. That's why there's a reaction there. This can afford to have a cool off down to here. You must take a pass through. You will be pissed if you give 100 points back. Make sure you are paying yourself. Yeah, absolutely, John Lucan. Yeah, absolutely. Pullbacks holding flow zones, bullish. When I see this, I'll tell you the big signature. When flow zones go through lower time frame algo and we pull back and hold this, this is mega bullish. This here is like boom time. You are extended now, right? You're extended. So the last dips to add were here. If you're breakout, you could have like tried to add here. But the dips were here, 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 and here. You don't want to be adding up here, right? Remember, this is a big target. This is where I wanted to trade to. For 2 weeks, I think we've been talking about this trade. I will have to find it, but for 2 weeks, we've been talking about that trade to the 200-day moving average. Everything I've been talking about has been a bullish move to backtest the 200-day. Where are we? Even if you join me on chat, you will know I've been looking for that 200-day moving average for the last few weeks. It made sense to me for a backtest. I'll have to go to a Sunday probably. Can we find it? I don't know. It's there somewhere. Last Sunday is when we last talked about it, I think, or this Sunday. Still going here, folks. Still holding runners here. Here we go. 200-day top bolt, next spots is where we tried to go. So all we wanted to do was pull back to get up there. So all this market's been looking to do was a pullback to get up to that 200-day. Anyway, here we are, making money. Nice, John Lucan. Hey, fantastic trade. I'm telling you, not many people got it up to 300 like we did. Most people didn't understand where this market wanted to go. I knew today they were looking to do that rotate. Yesterday was the clue. All right, just I need you guys to understand so that when I'm not here, yesterday was your clue where we wanted to go. Why? Here is your range. Here is a failed breakdown or a failed breakout. I can't really draw that very well. Right, shorts came in here for breakout shorts to try and get down to here. This was an area I was interested in buying off, but they failed. So swing shorts are stuck. We go up, we break out, downtrend overnight. If we fail to break out one side of the range, where do you think we're going? Other side of the range. If we can get through this side of the range in 200-day, where are we going? Next pivot. Next pivot. This is the next target. 500s, right? This is what? A flag. Simple as that. Boom, 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 boom. Liquidity, 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 flag. Where do we want to go? Take these guys out. What do we need to be careful of now? Position versus all-time high. Golden zone. Very careful now. Dips today were good. Really now you want to be a swing long. You don't want to be buying new money long up here because you don't know how far it's going to go. I would not be surprised, right, if we get something like de-escalation with China and that. I really wouldn't. Followed by this later in the year or probably next year. I wouldn't be surprised for a new all-time high followed by a recession. Stagflation, recession, rotation. Would not surprise me at all, but we just have to wait and see, folks. But right now we are upside. Look at the VWAPs. Everything's holding. We're going upside. There's liquidity to aim for. But yeah, yesterday was the key. Yesterday really told you the story when it failed to break down. You can see, look how we are getting stuck up here. But why are we getting stuck up here? That's why. John, thank you, man. Honestly, it's comments like that that make me keep going. John saying, Alex, I haven't taken your course yet, but your morning teaching has changed my trading. Thanks again. It's honestly, some days I don't want to get out of bed. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just like, just want to go back to bed, put a trade on, go back to sleep. But I love trading with you all. I love helping people. Some of the messages I get are amazing. Right, watching VIX here, you can see how I said VIX, the bottom side of VIX was 22s to 2220s. We poked through 22s to 2189. We've traded back inside. We're currently trading at sort of 2214s up to 2222. So just be careful here. We've had a massive move. This is a fantastic move. Just be careful here. If the VIX wants to like consolidate and go back upside, this market can afford a massive pullback. We've done the move. The move I wanted to see for the last 2 weeks, we've just done it. We have just done it. The move I wanted to see for the last 2 weeks, we have just done. Be careful. Low hanging fruit, 200-day. Any extension now, all right? We can think about, actually, let's think about what a fib extension for a 161 might be. And hopefully it's into a bolt. Oh my God, would you know that? A 161 is into the top of a bowl. Amazing. So extension will be up here. I don't know if it's got the juice to do it today, folks. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But what I would say is my target for the week has been met. Gap got filled, failed breakout, 200-day. Anything up here is a bonus. The hardest thing now for that move is if you get it today, you can hold your runners. If you don't get it today, the hardest thing is going to be is that swing traders, smart money's long here, 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 and here looking for this move. We're day traders. Buying up here, not very good, is it? Momentum great, location bad. So buying up there today, tomorrow, not great. That's the unfortunate thing about being a day trader versus a swing trader. You see, we get stuck here now. Yes, TR. All day I was looking for longs, mate. All day. Grumpy yesterday. Appreciate you showing up. Who, me? I probably was. I can't even remember yesterday. I was probably in a foul mood. Alex, I'm exactly the same. I can't afford the course right now, but honestly, your YouTube videos and tuning in the last few weeks have been a game changer for me. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome, Bowden. Squire Farms. I use Ninja to trade ES, and I tried Nasdaq today with you. I think I'm convinced I should do your course. Does it mean I should switch to Nasdaq to follow? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you like trading ES, you can trade ES. I still watch ES, like you would have heard me talking. I watch ES all the time. All right? I'll trade them as a pair. It is important to understand how they work together. You're starting to see VIX reclaiming 22.22s now. Just be careful here, folks. You're expecting a bit of a deeper pullback, and then we can see if it holds the Globex highs or not. Remember, to go higher, you will need shorts trapped. All right. So how would that look? 1, 2 here. That's the kind of move you would need. It can afford to come all the way back down here. Remember, there's no structure until we get back down here, unless we're going to hold this. All right. We lack structure because this moves straight up. So if it wants to back test this, it can. Think about the structure of a move. When we're thin like this on a squeeze, it can give it back. What would I like to see? If we're going to look for more longs, I'd like to see a 2-leg, because shorts come in once, twice. We reclaim that. You get that inverted head and shoulder. We use their pain point to go higher. I'm not entering long now unless I see a very, very good bear trap, because we've hit my target. It's been there for the last few weeks. But yeah, Squire, you can absolutely trade ES with me if you want. That's fine. I also have my flow zones all available for NinjaTrader now as well. DK, I love seeing Alex pumped up. It's a rarity these days. I try and not get like this, but it's a bit of fun sometimes. Most of your losses were shorts today, Andrus. Were you... You should have been this side of the move. I mean, shorts should have worked for you. I didn't take shorts because I was waiting for Trump. It was the only reason. I started to get a bit panicky. I'm going to be honest, when he wasn't talking, I was like, oh my God, if he doesn't come and talk today and we wash all the way down, I'm going to be fuming. But he did. So off the open, where were we? 9. Off the open, would I have normally taken this short? No, but I would have taken, if we weren't in a Trump day, I would normally have taken this short here. Fail previous day high, fail Globex. Obvious short back down towards here. That's a nice short that I would take normally. If we weren't waiting for Trump to talk, this was a short I was going to take. But I was focused on longs today for the higher time frame play. We would like one more leg down here to trap shorts in. If it doesn't do that, I'm not going to get back in. Made up for Arsenal's losses. Yeah, here you go. Hopefully a second leg down here. Not quite made up for their losses, but it's better than a kick in the bollocks. Nice quabs. Nice quabs. Glad you're learning, mate. That's all you got to do. Just turn up and learn. Whether you do the course or not, turn up and learn, even if you do someone else's course. Just make sure you don't... Look, if you don't like how I teach and don't like how I trade, that is also absolutely fine. There's millions of ways to trade, all right? Just make sure you're finding a mentor, if you're new, who can teach you a strategy and make you understand why the charts move and how they move. Don't be fixated on looking for, signals all the time. The best signals I give are these, all right? Don't mess with these. These are good signals, but I'm always looking for those on key levels. What made me start teaching? I think it was just helping a couple of mates. And also I think teaching helps me trade better. It keeps me very accountable. You'll see how fussy I am to get in trades because I don't want any of you to lose. So I have to be really, really accountable. So I've lost a sub. Can you believe that? Someone doesn't like it. Probably upset. I upset someone today doing my impressions, without a doubt. Someone got upset. Either that or someone tried to fade me. North Georgia Quali. Does your course specifically cover the Globex setup? Yeah, it covers all of it. The Globex setup just comes into key levels. All right, so I trade S&R. That's how I trade. And the levels I trade are gap fills, previous day high, previous day low, previous week high, previous week low, weekly models, and Globex. And then inside those, I'm looking at orbs and IBs. Take care, Miguel. Nice one, mate. Nice one, everyone. We've got 2 minutes left here until lunch. I'm done. Finished. Kaput. I'll give you a quick readout on the book, though. Book has started thinning out again. I'd say under 20s, it gets a little bit thinner again. So some liquidity down to 250s, 225s. Then you've got a little gap from 225 to 250. Let's have a look at the volume on this range. Value area high right now, 220s. That would be why. And then it gets a bit thinner until There's probably a bit of a point of control developing around 177. So I'd say you'd want it to hold 220s, really. You'd want it to hold that. Think about this last hourly candle. It's a monster. It can afford a pullback. I wouldn't be looking for shorts, honestly. Personally, I would not be looking for shorts. Shorts are cooked. So why does it do this when I click this? I'd be looking for some form of pullback to do this and reclaim, and then you can think about that move up into here. That's where I'd be trying to get to. But for me, the low-hanging fruit's gone. I'm not going to trade the afternoon session. Aintas up $2,000, sir. I get in before you call it, and I've taken your course, and I really welcome people to take it. God bless you. Hey, Aintas, thank you so much. Very kind. Julian, your technicals are the sickest I've seen. Thank you, my friend. Andres, fair value gap. On what chart are you looking at, buddy? I mean, there will be fair value gaps on all the way up. Look, even on a 1 minute. Gap, 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 gap. But I wouldn't try to be bid. I wouldn't try and bid in a gap. I'd wait for a trap to be set. Try and bid when the momentum shifts back up, right? Don't bid on that play down, because what happens if they just go, nah, we're done? This is where traders get caught, right? When they try and bid in fair value gaps without having risk. Like, let's say you're trying to bid in this imbalance here, and you're bidding that pullback. As long as you have a fixed stop, it's okay. But what happens is traders go, I'm going to buy here, and if it fails, I'm going to buy here, and then I'm going to buy this order block, and then I'm going to buy this VWAP, and then I'm going to buy this, and then you're got like 100 times too much size with massive range, and then you blow up down here, and then down here it goes whoop, the upside, right? So try and bid once it sets in. Let the market cool off, let it start to pivot, and then bid like here or here versus this. Runners out here looking for a move up here, right? Don't bid as it drifts down. You would have seen today I played momentum. I'm always playing momentum. I'm not bidding down here on it, because I don't know if this point down here we go for gap fill or Globex. But once we come across this and we start taking this out, I'm adding and adding and adding and adding for that move up. Whereas Lance would say the right side of the V, right? There's your V. So this is back side, this is front side. Front side because we're going up. Normally you do this way because most people are short, but this is the back side of the move. This is the midpoint of the move. This is front side of the move. I want to bid the right side of the V. I want to sell the left side of the V. So let it prove to you. Like I always said, you would have heard me say numerous times today, let it prove to you. Let it get above pivot points. Let it get above daily pivot points. This is where I started adding heavy. Once we started getting up through here, look at the difference in the trend. Look how strong the flow zones are. We're bidding off higher time frame and we're squeezing higher. Don't bid on the way down. H1 fair value gap. I mean, yes. I mean, it's a massive fair value gap though, isn't it? I mean, you could, if you're going to trade that, you can trade all the way back to 126s. I don't think it comes anywhere near down there. It's still basing it. If this is all it's going to do and it goes, it's going to be hard to join. You're going to be you're buying high to go higher right now. I would like to see a much deeper pullback than what you're seeing currently. All right, I'm done, folks. Into lunch. Bid when the trend is in the direction of the higher time frame. Yeah, exactly that. You want to get... I'll do one very quick lesson before I go. I want you to see why I was looking long today. All right. The H1 today, if we think about the H1 yesterday, it did this, and it did this, and broke out. All right, this is what the H1 did. This was previous day low. Oh, annoying. This was previous day low. And up here, it was like this. All right, been in a range. And we had a trend here. So the H1 broke out, right? So instantly, I now know shorts are trapped under here, breakout shorts are trapped under here, and we've broken out. So what am I needing? I need a pullback leg to get long into to go up here. How do you time this? Well, you need to see if that was a magnifying glass. All right, remember this over here is H1. If that was a magnifying glass, from this pivot here to this pivot here, what are you going to see lower time frame? You're going to see this, lower lows, lower highs. Maybe the odd trap, lower lows, lower highs. And then once you see something like a W and we start to do this, this is signaling the end of the pullback. This part here is this part here. Because remember, you will shift on a 30-second, then a 1 minute, then a 2 minute, then a 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, blah, 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 all the way up, right? The lower the time frame, the quicker the shift happens. So I'm looking to get in here, risking this, and then on pullbacks, adding in and adding in. And where am I looking to take out? The H1, or in this case, the daily highs, which were up here. Right, so our target was up here. So to make that make sense in terms of candles, if you want to see that in candles now, finish this lesson and then I'll get off. Let's just take everything off here for a second. All right, this is the hourly we're on now. Here was the hourly trend. There's your failed breakdown. This is what I've just drawn from you. There's the breakout above the swing high. What are we now expecting? Bullish structure. What do we need? A pullback. Where's the trend line? Here's the trend line. Where's the RBS? Blue box here. This for me was always going to be a trap for shorts to come in. I'm looking for longs to take out this swing high. So in here, we were looking long, right? In there, we were looking long. If we now put this into a 1 minute chart, it's going to be hard to see with all these lines, but you can see the pivot where we were looking long, where I've done this circle, was the RBS zone, blue box. And once we broke above here and above here, this was signaling that the pullback on the H1 had finished, and we're going where? Back to the H1 highs, back to the daily highs. All right, that's all you're doing. When I say you need to be trading pro trend, that's exactly what I'm talking about. My bias today was upside because of what I saw yesterday, because of what I saw overnight. I would not have been thinking, all right, I would not have been thinking longs if yesterday we closed under here. All right, if we opened here, then today I would have been thinking about shorts. Where would I be thinking about shorts? Here. I'd have been thinking, okay, if this market can rally up and find a sell in there on the H1, which on a lower time frame would have looked like this, then I'm looking to sell that for a rotation from here back down, right? And that would be the pro trend. Remember, for me, the H1 is dictating. All right, I'm looking at the daily, but the H1 is dictating what I'm looking at. And then I have to be patient for it. Maybe I front run it a few times today. I think I had a go at like here on a 1 minute. I'm trying to remember now. It was a lot earlier. Let's have a look. I think I had a go. It was maybe around here. I had a go trying to get this move, and maybe around here for that break I had to go. So I think this was break even and a small one. And I was front running it. I was a little bit, yeah, I think it was here because the flow zone shifted, and I said they haven't shifted the deep pullback. I think here is where I had to go. All right, but once it really proved, that's me being a bit impatient. That's me looking for this, thinking this is going to hold to go. I needed to wait for them to take these guys out. Remember we said 30s, 40s, and 50s were key. And from this point here, there's 50s gone. That makes sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Why I'm looking at H1s. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Hey, Ken, thank you so much. Very, very kind. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think those are the setup. How can I put this? The setup comes from something logical. You've got to understand, like, whatever your setup is, you've got to understand when it's not going to work. Does that make sense? If I'm looking, if my bias, right, if my bias right here is sells because the flow zones are red, well, that's fine. Where's that setup not going to work? If I missed all this and I'm looking for a sell here, why is that not going to work? Well, this is a RBS level. Resistance, resistance, resistance became support, right? So it's less likely to work here. So the logic to sell short side here is not a good one, right? It's not good to be trying to sell into demand. It's the same reason you would want, if this is not so bad where we were, but let's say we got stuck in front of the red box, right? Let's say we, sorry, trading views is really pissing me off. Let's say we got stuck here and this is the high of day. Do I want to buy this? No, because this is supply. The difference is, what's this? Resistance becomes support. All right, so they're bidding off that resistance, trying to get it to go high. They're trying to do that inverse head and shoulders I talked about. Not very deep, unfortunately, but that's what they're trying to do. You can see, you can do a line right here. Let's just do a horizontal line. This guy here and this guy. Oh, well, let's do a box inside a box then. This high to this high here is resistance, which, look, they bid off it. What do you have now? This is what I'm talking about, the bear traps. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. What short's pain point? Right here. What do you think happens when we get here? That's the stops. That happens. Stop run. How much higher can it go? Well, if it's just a stop run, probably just a little squeeze. But if they're looking, if this is accumulation to go much higher, then the next level's all the way up here. All the way up here. I would prefer a deep pullback. I'm always, after a big move like this, I'm always looking for a deep pullback. It doesn't have to give it, but we made our money. But if this is accumulation and they're able to do this, this is where it's trying to go. All right, team, job done. Time for me to get off the charts. I got pickleball in T-minus 4 or 5 hours. So I've got 4 hours to until I blow my knees out and hips out again. No, it's all right. It's okay, Andres. It's important that you understand that. Because I think that's where a lot of traders go wrong. Like, even, let's say ICT traders. How many ICT traders trade that 2022 model? All right, fair value gap. Coming to higher time frame level, fair value gap. How many people fail trading that model? Lots. Why? Because trading that first fair value gap, you are effectively looking for the reversal before confirmation. All right. And if they don't understand where the draw on liquidity is the most important thing, it's why I'm looking at the higher time frame. Trust me, institutions don't give two little single Fs about our 1 minute chart or my flow zones or anything like that. What they really care about is the higher time frame. They are positioning billions of dollars into the market. Billions, right? They can't do that off a 1 minute chart. They're looking at liquidity levels on the higher time frame. That's what matters, right? That's what matters. All right, team, lots of love. Be careful, please. Be smart. You've had the easy trades in the day. Don't be forcing your way into this market now. Low-hanging fruit gone, we're done. Once the low-hanging fruit's gone, we're done. If I come back and this is at 400 or 500, I don't care. It's fine. I half expect it to go there. If it doesn't go there, great. We've got a trade for tomorrow, right? Fantastic. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday. Let's see what we get. Let's see where we close today. Let's see where we go tomorrow. Anyone interested, if you enjoyed how I've taught today, then the links are down below. If you want to do the course, the links are down below. If you want to trade on NinjaTrader with my setup, the links are down below. Everything's down below. Tons of free lessons on my YouTube you can always use. And until tomorrow, please be safe. Please use hard stops. Who knows what's going to be said later in the day? Like I said, I constantly expect randomness in this market. Crazy, crazy things to be said. So be smart and peace and love. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. I'll see you tomorrow.